where did this all begin? Oh, um, well, I was stuck. So just in life, I felt myself being really stuck a few months ago. But I think when I think about it now, I've been stuck for quite a wee while, just in my job and just with myself. And so I was stuck. But um, sadly, I was so stuck that within my job, I became so overwhelmed. I kind of lost my confidence. I lost my way. I'm a teacher. I became overwhelmed with the expectations, not feeling like I was meeting everything that was being asked of me. My kids, I felt like I was, because of COVID, that I was losing them and not knowing how to help them because they were falling so far behind. And it actually led me to the point of where I ended up becoming so overwhelmed that I had a panic attack at school. Oh, and that's like, I was not expecting that at all. And so it led me to I just broke down. I just lost my way completely, and I took time off work, and that was where I'm so thankful to my Father in heaven, because that's where He brought Sally in. And if it wasn't for Sally and my dad in heaven, that I wouldn't have broken through some real things that had trapped me in my life. And it's just been a journey of discovery, of identity. Like for me, I had just, like, I've been a Christian a long time, since I was a little girl, and I knew whose I was, but I didn't know exactly who I am. So Sally just took me on this journey of just like, whoa, I know I can say this morning, sat in this room, that I know who I am, that I am, and just like, and the truth of who I am. Like, I was listening to the lies for so long that I just was like, believed that. I believed the lie that I was less than, that I'm not as good as that person, that, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that was me. So it's been long.
And now where are you? Tell her. So last night, okay, she gets this amazing phone call yesterday, just quietly. And I'm like, do you drink alcohol? She says, no. So we celebrated. I drank bubbles yesterday and she had Coke Zero. But it's okay. We had our bubbles together. Anyway, tell them where you're at now. What's your journey? Where are you going? Obviously, she's on holiday, having a super time with her son and me, obviously, because I'm so important here. But seriously, where are you off to now? What is happening in your life?
Oh my goodness. So like I said, I was a teacher, but throughout this journey with Sally, as I said, I've discovered who I am. And like I just heard you talk about like like our wiring, like our wiring, like I am. So I am, what am I? I'm kinesthetic, I'm visual, not so much on the linguistic side and the talking side, but I've discovered like actually who Annie is. And so I've gone through this whole thing, and my heart, it's been about my heart and what my heart longs to do, and what the desires of my heart. This is what it says there, the desires. He knows the desires of my heart. So it's been a pulling out of those desires of my heart, which is like missions and serving and kids, still kids. But we've gone on to this whole different thing now of where I have pursued nursing, because I can still travel. I can, kids, and just, so then I applied for nursing. Oh my gosh! And yesterday, and I had to do a science diagnostic test. I have not been to school. I've done no science, so I had to do all these things, go for an interview, which I have to do. And then anyway, so I did it all, but not, just not knowing, but I had to speak the truth. I had to go, right, no, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your understanding any, He's got it. So all the way through everything that Sally's been teaching me, helping me, I've just been speaking it, declaring it. And even though sometimes it's still like, whoa, but anyway, and then yesterday, the phone call, I got accepted into a Bachelor of Nursing, and I start next week.
Like literally on Monday.
Yeah, on Monday. So it's
Annie, oh my goodness, it's always good to see you. And I feel like I've missed out because it's been Christmas and I know you've had your exams, and so we kind of haven't quite caught up. But I thought it'd be super cool. The original recording we did was when you had just got into nursing. So we'd gone through the ugly bits of I'm all over the place, don't know where I'm going. Sally, help me out. Right now I'm on fire. And I just thought it'd be super cool to give people a bit of an update. So, first of all, tell me where you are at the moment and what's going on, because you're not at home technically.
No, we're not at home. We're actually in Christchurch with my family. So it's been just really cool just being home and just being around my brother and my cousins and my aunties and just spending Christmas with them. It's been super duper cool. So yeah, after a rather interesting year, I must admit. But yeah, I'm thankful for this season and just it's good to be home.
Yay. And of course, we're catching up in between Christmas and New Year, which is always a busy time, but it's a lovely family time. It's like you guys being there for Christmas, being there together. And as you say, what a year. If we look back, I met you on 100X when we were all in the New Zealand family room together. And you were, like you walked away from teaching because you'd had a breakdown. You were like, oh my goodness, I get severe anxiety if I go back in, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to talk too much about that because it's been and done. But, and now look at you. So, oh my goodness, tell me the last time, I know we've caught up in between, but everybody else heard, you'd just been accepted to get into nursing. So have you finished the first 6 months of nursing?
I still can't believe anyway. Yes, I got into nursing. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. And I have completed my first semester and I passed and I did really, really well. I did so well, so well. And I'm just like, I'm so thankful because I keep thinking about like the word to me comes foundation. And I just feel like just spending that time intentional you, like being intentional about me and him, it really set the foundation for this season. I feel like, if I didn't have those keys, if I didn't go through knowing who I am and knowing who I am in him and just pulling out all this stuff and discovering, I'm still discovering who I am, but just beginning a real journey of identity and just if I didn't have that foundation, I would not have made it through, I reckon, this first semester. And just I remember like how you said, like, it always goes to me like the part of like and it always kept going through my mind, like, I'm not dumb. Like I always used to think I'm dumb, I can't do this, and I really was stuck. I was so stuck. And just speaking the truth about who I am and even though it wasn't it wasn't all roses and all, it wasn't all that, but I mean, it was hard going through like juggling things with my son and then going back to school and stuff, but having all those things, speaking those things about who I am daily. And then, I must admit, things got busy and I fell off the bandwagon a little bit, but it was there, and it was knowing it was there, and then those little moments are just like, oh no, hang on, Annie, speak that word, speak that truth over you. You are more than, yes, you can do this, and it was just like just the things that I needed, because I think if I didn't have those things, it would have been much harder, and I wouldn't have, like I just said about rest. I really felt at rest throughout the whole training, and just, it was, but yeah, I still felt just a sense of peace going through it all, and not having that anxiety that I had, because I was thinking it would creep. Because I met some people, who'd gone through anxiety, and I was like, oh my gosh, you feel like you're the only one. But it was like, but you could see that they weren't, at peace. But I was just like, wow. So I'm just so thankful, Sammy. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, good news is those lovely people that you're with on the course that are suffering from anxiety, you just flick them into the What Next event in February, and they'll open the doors for how to kick that into touch. And I love the fact that you're absolutely right. Like when you mentioned just earlier, we were just quickly chatting, rest was like, that's totally the opposite of where you were. Like when we first met, you were all over the place. Everything was overwhelming. It was like, oh my goodness. and you're now sleeping well, you've got rest, you've got peace. It's like, wow. And because of that, you're nailing your studies. You just said you did really well.
I did.
Now, I think part of the joy of doing really well is you had to navigate your son. You had to travel across the other side of Auckland to do it, because it was like school and back and work. Like, there was so much to navigate. So it wasn't like, I think it's funny because you've said rest when it was your craziest time. It's like, whoa, because everything beforehand, son at school, working in the same area, in theory, if you were to look on a piece of paper, your previous or your first 6 months of your year should technically, on a piece of paper, be much easier than the second 6 months. But actually, because you've sorted you out and gone, no, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm brilliant at, this is my heart's desire, this is where I'm going. You just went, boff, and you're on fire. And it's like, I've got this. From the world has got me and I'm crushed underneath it, to, no, I've got this and my own little world and it's all good. How cool is that?
So cool. It's so good. So good. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. But anyway.
Oh my goodness. So just out of interest, so how much longer have you got on your nursing? Have you got 18 months? Have you got 3 more semesters to go?
We got 2.5 years, Sally.
Okay, so you've done half a year. You're a fifth of the way through. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And you've got another summer holidays with your son.
Yes.
Because actually that's super cool. Like, you're getting this lovely chunk of time with having the school holidays together too, which is amazing. So I think that's a gift in itself.
Yeah.
Whew. And anything else you've got on your, so 2023, what have you got on your agenda for 2023? Obviously doing 2 more semesters, because you'll get that nailed.
Yes. What? So I really want to travel. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I really, how my heart is to go, and just to go and just spread love and to care for people using my nursing. But I just want to put my feelers out this year, and just, so there's a ministry team going to Cambodia this year, so I want to go and just see. So Jesus, so want to go overseas, and amongst all of the other things.
Would you get that opportunity in between semesters? Is that how it would work? Would you be able to go and do that?
I'm not sure that when the church is going, so I'm assuming they'll do it in the holidays. So I'm believing that it's gonna fit in there. I'm believing.
Oh, you know what's so beautiful? It will always be in his perfect timing, and he always gives us desires of our heart. So if it's deep, and I know it's in your heart because the mercy ships are the end goal. I can see that, because you get to travel and you get to feed into people, and with all your teaching and your nursing skills, it's just absolute gold, because nothing ever gets wasted. So I know that, like, and then this would be like your little oh yes, like he'd give you a taster so that you can really see what it's going to be like, which is super, super cool. So this was just a quick update, and we can have a quick catch up after this, but I just thought I'd record, just because it's so exciting. We set our goals and we say this is what we want to do, but to be able to capture you 6 months later. And I just caught up with Jack earlier on the phone, and he graduated 2 years ago, 18 months ago. And I'm like, seriously, every single thing that he put down, bar one thing, which he had no control over, which was his ex-partner, every single thing has come to fruition. I'm like, wow. So I encourage you, put it out there for next year and watch him move, because just put it out there, ask for it, give it whatever's in your heart, put it out there, because he's delivered everything this year. So why would he then deliver you everything for next year? And it's lovely to catch up. And I will see you on our 100X calls, because
Yes.
that's where we hang out together
Yes.
when they start back up. And have an amazing new year. Is there anything actually you want to share with anyone before we go? Like, if somebody was thinking about, if they were where you were, which was like all over the place, your world had fallen over, you're like, oh my goodness, what would you tell them? What would your advice to that person be in terms of working with me or getting themselves sorted? What would you say to them?
You know, I'm just thinking about like how you go, like, this is me. And like, I'm the kind of person who thinks, nah, I'm okay. It's okay. It's just, you know, it's life. Keep going. Keep doing what you've always been doing. And seriously, sometimes you just can't do it. You've got to reach out. You've really got to reach out. And I hate reaching out. I hate doing it. I hate it. I'd rather hide. I'd prefer to hide. But my Father in heaven doesn't want us to hide. He doesn't want us to hide. The enemy wants us to hide. And I think if I didn't have arms around me and like Sally, and I'd met the acceleration crew, I don't think if I had that encouragement, you know, when someone's encouraging you and, you know, really just championing you on, it's like you feel the sense of urge. You've got to take that step. You've got to be brave. You've got to reach out. So if you're stuck, because man, I was stuck. I was really stuck. And it's no matter what age you are, man, the greys are coming in, wrinkles are setting and everything, but it's like, you know, our Father loves us. He longs for us to know who we are and who we are in him. So I just be brave. Be brave. Step out, step into, step up. Because when you do that, you just, you're at rest. You're at rest. You're not fighting things. You're not battling. You're not struggling. You're at rest. So yeah, that would be me.
Oh, and you know, I'm just gonna, because I don't know whether somebody would have grasped that actually it's about having the right people around you. Like, we're really blessed to be part of 100X. And I know that we've been blessed to work together because I had what you needed at that point in time, which is that firecracker. Come on, Annie, we can do this. Yeah. And, you know, when we all lock arms, when we just get together, and you're right, it's like this arms, like we cheer each other on, and it makes, when you've got someone, somebody said to me the other day, she said, Sally, you put wind in people's sails. And I thought, you know, that's actually quite a good way of looking at it, because you already have the sails. You haven't changed. You are still the amazing person that you were when I met you. It was just that things weren't quite in the right order. And so we've just sorted that out, and you're away. And I mean, I didn't mean to make you cry, because that obviously made you go back to where you were and how things were. And it's like, God, it was horrible. But the good news is that it is. So I think I just want to encourage people that when they're feeling in that space, that you're right. The biggest challenge for all of us is to ask for help. That asking for help in the right places with people who can support you and love you for who you are, and go, come on, we can do this. It makes such a difference, eh?
So does.
I love the old quote of, you know, a problem shared is a problem halved. And, you know, I think that's part of it too, eh?
Definitely.
Whew. Well, on that note, that wasn't what I was expecting, but that's brilliant. I love the fact, expect the unexpected, because that's how life is. But I just love the fact that you're with family, you're having an amazing time, you are living your dream. And I'm hoping that people will come and join us at What Next, because that event is about going to show everyone how they can live theirs. So have an amazing new year. Enjoy your time with family, and we'll catch up soon.